Hello everybody, my name is Queenie and today we're gonna have a first look at Lifeweaver. I'm so excited, he's such a cutie pie. Look at his face. Look at him, he's so cute. But before we go any further, let's talk about his abilities. And he's got a few of them, so yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit of reading just so you kind of get the overall concept for him. So obviously, Lifeweaver is a support hero. He has a healing blossom on your main fire button. Hold the button to charge a healing burst, released to heal a targeted ally. He also has an offensive ability called Thorn Valley, where you rapidly fire a spread of projectiles. His abilities is a petal platform, where you can throw a platform that springs upwards when stepped on. And this doesn't matter whether or not it's an enemy or friendly. Anybody who steps on it, the platform will rise. He also has a rejuvenating dash, where you dash towards your traveling direction and lightly heal yourself. He also has a really interesting ability called Life Grip, where you pull an ally to your location, protecting them as they travel. He also has a passive, which is called a Parting Gift, where if he dies, he drops a gift that heals the first enemy or ally to pick it up, meaning this can make for some interesting interactions. And of course, he has the support passive as well, where he automatically heals over time. His ultimate is nothing to scoff at, however, it is a Tree of Life. You place a tree that instantly heals allies upon sprouting and continues healing periodically as it lives. But enough chattering about what the abilities does. Let me show you actually how it works. So obviously the first things first, let's show his healing. You hold your mouse button or primary fire button. You see the charge up meter. Boom. It locks on to whoever you're healing. So you can see that there's like a little target thingy there. And that's how you heal it. Obviously, if you just shoot it immediately with no charge up, it barely does any healing. And it is on an ammo, so you can run out of ammo as well. So you kind of need to be a little bit mindful. Something to note about the charge up as well is if you do not have a target, right? You do not have a target and you shoot your healing out, it just eats the ammo. No healing done, but ammo disappears, which means you have to recharge the healing thing once again. The healing charges up all the way to 65, which I'm pretty sure correlates with the amount of healing done. If you look at my ammo count right now, if I just click out ammo, you see I'm just literally just wasting ammo with nothing happening. So please do pay attention to that. He can obviously attack as well, but in order to do so, you have to switch weapons, which you can do by either cycling through them by pressing 1 or 2. So 1 is healing, 2 is attack. My personal recommendation is that you would use your mouse wheel to change between the two, as it will be a lot smoother. So let's say you want to attack somebody, but somebody needs healing. You just roll to the other one. You keep holding that mouse button, and it immediately starts charging up. So there's very little clunkiness between the two. Or say after you've healed, you just immediately swap over, swap back to heal, it starts charging up again. This is why I personally think the mouse wheel swapping of weapons is going to be the most efficient in-game, because you can swap really quickly between the two. Like, even if you charge up to max, you just switch it, you can immediately start attacking. It's just the most convenient way. It will be the fastest as well. Like, the speed at which he switches between attacking and healing as well is really neat. You also have the petal platform. It's very cute. If you step on it, it goes up. If you jump just as you reach the top, you even get like a little mini super jump, which can be useful to know. You also have little dings. That's the indication that the platform is about to break, because it doesn't stay forever. And it interacts like any solid object, really. You can put things on top of here. People can stand up here and get like a higher vantage point. So you can probably guess that there will be quite a lot of cool interactions with this, because you can do a lot of interesting plays, and I'm really curious to see how creative people are going to be with this character. Of course, you also have the Life Grip, which brings people close to you, which is pretty interesting. Something to note about the Life Grip is that you can actually save people from like a Reinhardt pin, or if they get shattered or frozen or anything like this, you can literally just kind of yoink them. Because of the long cooldown on the Life Grip, however, you do want to be a little bit cautious about when you use it, because you could totally make or break something. And of course, it is an ability with a little bit of troll potential, so yeah, keep an eye out for that too, I suppose. Make sure that you life grip people when it's actually helpful, as much as possible. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you life grip somebody, they also get this sort of like little barrier around them. The barrier actually nullifies any damage, so they kind of become invulnerable as you're dragging them, which is pretty interesting. Let's see if we can... Yoink! You see that little shell? That's what protects your teammates as they're getting life gripped, so that people can't hurt them while you're making them slightly immobile. So over are the days where people overextend and you can do nothing about it. Now you can just go, hey, come back here. And they have no choice but to do so. Last but not least, of course, we have the ultimate ability. And if we place that down, boom. A big heal initially, and then it keeps pulsing out a decent amount of healing for a while. As you can see, it does have a health bar, so this is a destructible object, and it blocks movement. So you can be quite creative with this as well, and block pathways, or trap people, or block people from pursuing you, etc. You can also dash and regain a little bit of health. So if we take a little bit of damage, thank you, we jump, and as you can see, we immediately heal just a little bit of health. Overall, Lifeweaver is a character that very much relies on good teamwork, I reckon. And he's the first in a while that we've gotten that isn't so self-contained. And what I mean by that is if you look at Kiriko, Junker Queen, Ramatra, Sojourn, they all kind of can do their own thing with very little reliance on their team. Whereas Lifeweaver is kind of the opposite. He's a little bit more like Mercy in the sense that you definitely are an enabler and somebody that will shine when your team utilizes all of that utility you have in your kit. And just to demonstrate as well, if I put down the pedal, look what happens when the enemy walks on it. Everybody can use the pedal. You can also, of course, destroy the pedal with the interaction button. If you accidentally, of course, you would never do it intentionally, right, guys? If you accidentally help the enemy more than you expected, you can destroy it just to make sure that you don't give them an extra advantage for too long. However, this being said, that isn't the only way you can help the enemy team. Remember that parting gift we talked about where when you die, you leave behind a flower? Let's see if we can actually... I don't know if we can die in practice range because... Oh yeah, it looks like we can. I'll show you what it looks like. Come on, training bot, kick my ass. Let's go. I want to show them the parting gift. There we go. As you can see, I dropped the flower. Anybody can pick that up. Enemies, allies, does not matter. So if you're facing a flanker, yeah, you kind of gotta be very careful about that because a Genji could kill you, instantly heal up a pretty significant amount, and continue harassing the backline. So it's an interesting passive, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. Personally, I think that you shouldn't be able to heal the enemy team and double reward them for killing a support. I think that's a little bit backwards and super, super punishing for your team because not only are they now down a player and a support to boot, now you also healed the enemy team. It's like, who are we playing for? Are we helping my team or the enemy team? Excellent question. Nobody knows. Lifeweaver is similar to Symmetra in the sense that with his utility, you can be very creative in how you play him and the things that you set up, etc. Another thing to note with the platform is that when you step on it and you put it in a place kind of like this with limited space, it actually blocks movement as well. So in certain places, you could probably use this to block off pathways such as narrow doorways or corridors, etc. if there isn't a space enough to jump on it. Well, let's place this down. Ah, here we go. Now, this is what I mean. If we go from underneath, all of a sudden, this is a very strong blocked doorway. You can kill it, of course, it does have a health bar, but you see what I mean about being able to be creative with this character? Oh, and I forgot to mention, speaking of the healing thing, you can actually combine abilities. So if you charge up your heal and then you use Life Grip, you can use them simultaneously. Or you can use Life Grip and hold on to your healing. It doesn't actually cancel each other. However, it does cancel if you right-click to try and put down a platform. So that is just a straight-up cancel of the ability. So if you're, like, charging up your heal and you're running from somebody and you're trying to escape, you want to put down a platform, make sure you let go of your healing button first. Because otherwise, you're just wasting your healing ammo, and you're not going to put down a platform. So that's something as well that is worth noting. He will take, like, a little bit of time to get used to. I think his playstyle is pretty different from a lot of the supports on the roster right now. But once people have figured out his playstyle, oh boy, there will be fun to be had. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to talk to you about some of the basics of Lifeweaver and give you some first impressions. I think he is super cool. I can't wait to play him. And yeah, my only worry and concern about this character is he might be a little bit weak. But that might just be an adjustment period and skill issue until people actually learn how to play him and utilize all of his kit fully. Because as I said, it is very different from the supports that we currently have. But that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I've been Queenie, you've been great, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!